before. Let's give you some extra detail, starting with Chelsea. And in goal, of course, Ed de Goey, the giant goalkeeper with the very high standards. At the back, Mario Melchiot, who got fit just in time for the FA Cup final. Marcel Desailly went the distance in Euro 2000. Frank Leboeuf, another member of that French winning squad. And Celestine Babayaro at left back. Graham Lasso is on the bench, though, today. New signing Mario Stanic is in a four-man midfield, along with the captain, Dennis Wise, and that Wembley specialist, Robbie Di Matteo. And Gus Poyet, who got 2 goals here in the FA Cup semi-final, completing that quartet. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank back in the English game after a season in Spain, and he's partnered today by Gianfranco Zola. As for Manchester United, Fabien Barthez, their one big summer buy. At the back, Gary Neville. There's no Jaap Stam in the centre of defence, so it's Ronnie Johnson who missed most of last season with knee trouble, a season in which Mikael Silvestre was a regular in the Premiership. And, of course, Dennis Irwin, whose wonderful service to United is to be rewarded on Wednesday. In midfield, David Beckham is there despite a scare in training on Friday. Roy Keane, 29 last Thursday and really in his prime. Paul Scholes, it's very much a first-choice midfield for United, with Ryan Giggs also in the starting 11 today. And up front, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's been in great form in the pre-season matches, and Teddy Sheringham, who signed a new contract at the end of last season. The Charity Shield, certainly in its time here at Wembley, has always been a reminder of success in the previous campaign, but it's often a preview of power to come in the season soon to start, and that's certainly the case today. Manchester United and Chelsea epitomising the finery and the finances of the modern game at the highest club level in England. There's the basic instinct of the rivalry between North and South, and even the primary football colours that I know Andy enjoys, red against blue. Dennis Wise, very much Chelsea's personality of their silver-starred season, a 4th cup for him to collect in the last 4 years, last May. And Roy Keane, well, he received the personal accolades last season for his contribution as captain and all-round midfield influence, including 12 goals.
I just think it's interesting now, we're talking about the word charity today an awful lot, Martin, but normally now in the Charity Shield, both teams are in the tunnel, right, as they are, but actually there's a bit of interplay, there's a bit of chat. Now, if you look at these two at the moment, there's very little, isn't there? I mean, Chelsea are there, keeping themselves to themselves. Only really Barthez, who, well, I suppose he'll be talking to Desailly, Leboeuf, maybe having a little chat, yeah, having a chat with Desailly, that's acceptable. But the rest, just sort of saying, well, it might give us a little indication that competitive football is about to begin.
Well, Sir Alex Ferguson said to me this morning, we need a game like this, which suggests that he means a competitive run-out. United have been sharpening up in Munich and Malta. Chelsea have been closeted in a training camp in Holland. Well, England versus Germany to come here in October, but as far as club football is concerned, this seems to be the final action in this Wembley Stadium. And Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank is a part of it in the blue of Chelsea. Manchester United with many veterans of this fixture, and that one distinctive newcomer in their French goalkeeper, Fabien Barthez. Just 6 weeks since he helped France add the European crown to their World Cup triumph of '98. Chelsea have their newcomers, but they've got several survivors from the team that lost here to Manchester United on this occasion 3 years ago via a penalty shootout after a 1-1 draw. Speculation that Gianfranco Zola might not be around for the upcoming campaign. Same for Di Matteo, but still very much part of cosmopolitan Chelsea. And Teddy Sheringham. One or two farewells were being paid to him at Old Trafford in the month of May, but he agreed a new one-year deal. And Sir Alex Ferguson was very pleased about that. And just looking at England in Euro 2000, with all the wisdom that hindsight brings, maybe the stealth of a Sheringham was missed. Nothing stealthy about the David Beckham haircut. It is Beckham and not Jaap Stam, incidentally.
Geared for speed, that haircut, Martin. Geared for speed.
The guest of honour, His Royal Highness the Duke of York, the President of the Football Association, in the company of the Chairman, Jeff Thompson, the Chief Executive, Adam Crozier, on the left of the picture. The national anthem on a royal occasion. And very much an occasion that benefits the good causes supported by football. More than £500,000 raised from each of the last 4 charity shields. It's an event that was given much greater profile with its switch to Wembley back in 1974. A second home for Sir Alex Ferguson. It's his 8th charity shield here, let alone all the other major occasions that he's been part of as manager of Manchester United. Now the Chelsea players introduced to the Duke of York. Including Mario Stanic, the foreign contingent, all with plenty of English at their disposal.
Great game to play in this one, Martin, and it's a pre-season match. What better stage could you have? Almost capacity-packed Wembley. 2 of the teams who we think will be there or thereabouts at the end of the season when the prizes are given out. I think fans often decide how competitive a game is going to be. I think the fans around this ground and in this ground are ready for it.
Yes, how serious it all is for the clubs involved is often a matter of retrospection, depending on the result. Well, that first Wembley Charity Shield back in 1974, the current England head coach, then a striker with Liverpool, was sent off. Along with the late Billy Bremner of Leeds United. Distinctly uncharitable that day. Well, we've had a look at who's playing. Now, Andy, a chance for you to put them into a playing order, if you like.
Yeah, no real surprises, Mark. Let's deal with Chelsea first and foremost. Back four and goalkeeper, pretty much what we saw near the end of the season with Ferrer's injury. Melchior playing here, but I think in midfield they're pretty strong and they're powerful, that quartet, Stanic-wise, Di Matteo and Poyet, but I'm not so sure where they're going to get the width from. I guess Melchior will need to come up here. Babayara will need to provide it wide there. But you remember that league game at Stamford Bridge, Martin? Early on in that game, the balls that they delivered Chelsea from this area for a Gus Poyet coming across the defence and a Chris Sutton. 2 goals, 2 headed ones early. I wonder if Chelsea know about that. And of course, how well will Hasselbank and Zola, how well will they partner each other? Will it work immediately? For Manchester United again, it's one we know, we've seen time and time again, the back four, and maybe just a test for Silvestre and Ronnie Johnson at the centre of that defence, Mark. That might be the test in place for them. Barthez will want protection. Will he get it? A quartet in midfield, well, the names just roll off the tongue. Beckham and Giggs will undoubtedly give better width high up the pitch than Chelsea will. But will they give better service? That we have to wait and see. Scholes will bomb forward, looking to score goals. Keane maybe just hold there. Sheringham, well, we know all about Teddy. He'll have it into him, he'll bring people into play, he'll drop off the front. And as you've already said, Solskjaer's had a wonderful pre-season, goals all over the place. He'll be hoping to continue that today.
Well, a lot's happened since Chelsea won the cup here. Euro 2000, not a great experience for a number of the personnel on view today. But also the World Cup is not coming to England, but the world's greatest players are going to be here every weekend. Fabien Barthez will be the subject of our player cam for Sky Digital viewers on Channel 404. The subject for that camera, incidentally, chosen by Graham Souness today. We're underway. Manchester United's
all that talent on that pitch, outfield players, and Souness picks the goalkeeper. What's going on?
This is certainly a talking point, what happens in the Manchester United goalkeeping stakes. Raymond van der Houw, for the record, is the backup goalkeeper today. Here's Scholes. Manchester United in the Charity Shield for the 7th time in 8 years, but they have lost the last 2, both to Arsenal. Di Matteo. Here's Desailly. Sort of temperatures at pitch level that you tend to expect.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what kind of pace the game's played at, Martin. You mentioned the temperature, the players are just a touch off, I would guess, maximum fitness. Still searching for match legs. An awful lot of them, I guess.
And whereas before league matches the training is just tailored for the match itself, that's not the case at this time of the year. They've been working very hard, these groups of players, up to and including yesterday. Very much shirt sleeve order for those who are spectating today, even the involved spectators. Solskjaer reacting quickly, then just catching Chelsea a little off guard at the back.
A little shout wouldn't have gone amiss there, Martin. A hold with the bags of time.
Melchiot leaving it to Ed de Goey. Met by Silvestre defensively. So Stanic wearing number 12 for Chelsea. Going in front of Melchiot, who's just caught by Sheringham.
Looking for it, Mario Melchiot, no doubt. Saw Sheringham come in. Thought he'd just play it past him, go down.
Nice interplay between Melchiot and Stanic. Stanic has played here before for Croatia against England, over 4 years ago now. Babayara. Hasselbank falling for it early. Just had to hold his position, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, and the ball didn't come instantaneously from that side.
Just a check, that's all it was, and he couldn't get on the end of it. It's a decent ball in from Babayaro. In between goalkeeper and back four, he goes. You see him go, then he has to check. And because of the check, he's on the back foot when the ball comes across, and that's the only difference between him being on the end of it and just a couple of yards behind it.
Little touch from Sheringham. Desailly sorts out Solskjaer and Giggs as well with a shrug of the shoulders. Harry Neville's defensive header. Zola drifting left. Wise is the furthest forward for Chelsea, but not that far forward. Rolled out by Barthez.
must look there at Desailly and Leboeuf, Barthez, and wonder what the hell he's doing in the other goal. So often he's looked at the back of those two players.
Well, they're all linking up next Wednesday for France against an all-star 11. The highlights of which we'll bring you on Sky Sports after the Denis Irwin testimonial match. Hasselbank had 2 very good years with Leeds United and scored against Manchester United home and away in the second of those seasons.
I just think he's a good player, Martin. I think it's 15 million more spent. You know what you're buying. You spend that kind of money, you have to be sure of what you're getting. And I think they've got a proven goal scorer there.
As Chelsea wanted to get him when he left Leeds, but Leeds didn't want to sell it to another Premiership club. You could understand that. Didn't want to sell him at all, really. Irwin. And save the plaudits for Dennis for Wednesday night, and there are plenty of them. Sheringham. Solskjaer. Gary Neville's got forward on the right-hand side. Beckham's infield. Chelsea breaking out through Desailly. Mike Riley telling Hasselbank to get up, and that was shoulder to shoulder and fair enough with Beckham.
That's a free kick to me. I think David just had a little look. Hasselbank made the run, and I think David Beckham just eased him out here. He has a little look, and he just eased him out.
Melchiot, only his 5th start for Chelsea, the FA Cup win here over Aston Villa. And of course, he made a great contribution, earning the free kick from Chelsea. Eventually worked the position to take the lead with the only goal of the game through Di Matteo. Johnson now tangling with Hasselbank, and this time Chelsea do get a free kick.
He's a handful. Hasselbank already only opening 6 minutes of this match, and he's been pretty much involved. Decent movement right across the front. Hasselbank showing.
He's usually all cunning over the free kicks. Moving it towards Stanic. Provides the sort of contact there that they get from Poyet on the other flank. Tall, versatile player, Stanic. But it's Keane on the ball in Manchester United's midfield. Beckham. Beckham again. Leboeuf a little too tight on Teddy Sheringham.
Yeah, sometimes you're not getting the ball. You've just got to accept that.
Now this encroachment legislation is in place today. There was some suggestion, maybe a little light-hearted, that it'd be better to make the referee move it forward 10 yards because Beckham's more dangerous from a little further out.
This is about perfect distance for Beckham for me. He's about 10, 11 yards outside 18-yard box, and this is just about the optimum range to get it up and down with enough pace.
So here goes Beckham. He certainly didn't get any elevation at all, whether he saw a gap he was aiming for. Diggs. Looking towards Scholes. He eased it to Irwin. Back from Scholes to Silvestre. That's asking too much of Neville. The upstanders amongst the substitutes for Manchester United today, along with the likes of Dwight Yorke and Cole. Stam has had just 9 days training after his return from Euro 2000, which ended on a low note for him. That penalty that's probably still keeping going. It was blasted high, wide and not handsome in the shootout against Italy in Amsterdam. Hasselbank, who wasn't in that Dutch squad, much to his own disappointment, but he should be very fresh and frisky for the upcoming season. Poyet. Hasselbank. Stanic coming in with a sight of goal.
Oh, what a chance. What a chance. We'll get caught, Manchester United. no real football here. The ball just bobbles about a bit. No one really gets control, but Poyet in the centre of the field suddenly attracts Dennis Irwin in. He has to go to Hasselbank. That leaves Stanic and Akers, and well, I have to say that's not a great finish. Wild, it's a chance. Wild was struck by Mario Stanic.
Last done by Solskjaer. Both decides to take a touch and still gets the ball to the feet of Stanic. Was unabashed from that miss moments earlier. Scholes. Looking for Sheringham, but Di Matteo was looking for him as well, and in fact Wise has Teddy Sheringham down. You might recall the Charity Shield here 3 years ago between these two clubs, and Wise and Sheringham had quite a high-profile spat in the early minutes.
There's a little bit of meat in the sandwich here. Both go in, take the pick there. Dennis Wise, Roberto Di Matteo, both making contact.
Scholes. Here's Johnson. Well, Ronnie Johnson had a wretched year with injuries last season, virtually a write-off for him. Just a couple of sightings towards the end of the campaign. Perhaps that's all behind him. Stanic. Melchior. How much trickery Chelsea have got in wide positions will be interesting to see as the season develops. Referee Riley pulling the play back for United's free kick. Caballero, three are actually all making runs away from the man on the ball.
That's where they've got a little problem, Mark, when Poyet does as he did then. He just drifts away from that left-hand side, gets up in contact with the front two. And if Manchester United, certainly if Roy Keane and Paul Scholes aren't aware of that, they can find themselves in some pretty good space.
Solskjaer. Playing their way around Desailly, who've been drawn into a wider position. Matteo had filled in the centre of the defence responsibly for Chelsea. They didn't need him, and they can break now through Gianfranco Zola. Poyet in his left midfield slot momentarily, but the pass lacked craft in truth.
That's just been the case for this opening 12 minutes. Just when the final pass is needed to be accurate and assured, it's been a little lacking from both sides.
Stanic, he's had the one real chance. Looking up with Di Matteo. Zola's been flagged offside, or maybe Hasselbank. Certainly the flag is up. Chelsea have only won the Charity Shield once, and that was back in 1955 when they were in it as champions. It's a much more low-profile affair then. Played at Stamford Bridge in front of a crowd of only 12,000 to beat Newcastle 3-0. Silvestre. Content rather to back off and let Silvestre just knock it forward, but the ball was collected by Keane as it dropped off a half-hearted Chelsea clearance. Nothing half-hearted about that. And first real flashpoint here.
Season started.
And Roy Keane is in the thick of the matter.
I have to say, there didn't seem an awful lot in the tackle. Roy Keane was just trying to get back at Poyet. Poyet really reacted, and I think that's what sparked it off, and then Di Matteo decided to get involved as well. He's just come in there. I mean, that's much ado about nothing, Martin. I have to say, No real need for Poyet to take anything there, and as for Di Matteo, no need for him to get involved.
It's a calming word for Keane.
I think he was quite calm, Roy Keane. He was the only one of the trio that were involved there that looked calm as a...
Nothing said, it seems, for the Chelsea players. Here's Zola. Where it's drifted into the centre. That could mean problems for Manchester United if Zola gets his cross in, but he works it back instead to Wise. Closed down typically by Keane. Babayaro. Still Zola with plenty of Chelsea players in the Manchester United penalty area. And Zola crafts across towards Stanic.
1 or 2 in the far side, thought that was in, and maybe it should have been. Again, Mario Stanic has the opportunity. But lovely jinking play by the little Italian on the left. It's a little bit of luck when he gets past Gary Neville, but he stands up beautifully. You've got to fancy Stanic, much bigger than Irwin, climbing all over Dennis. I think he should be hitting the target. He should at least be testing Barthez from there.
That comment now applies twice to Mario Stanic in the opening 15 minutes. Hasselbank chasing the ball, just set up for Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank.
Well, what a chance. That's a little cameo of what he's got. Pace, power, threat. That's what he's all about. A lovely diagonal run. Now, he's not even favourite, but first of all, he muscles him out the way. And I'm really surprised again, Martin, that having done that, he hasn't hit the target. I think that's 3 excellent chances from Chelsea. None of them have tested the French goalkeeper.
Well, he's really efficient on his right foot, less so on his left.
Yeah, but at that kind of price, at that goals that he has scored throughout his career, he would expect him to hit the target from what? No more than what, 12, 11 yards?
And Graham Souness, our selector of the player cam, has now switched the attentions for Sky Digital viewers, channel 404, to Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank.
What a good 15 minutes for Chelsea, Martin. I think they've looked the more confident, the more composed, certainly the more threatening. I can't think of too many scares that Gianluca Vialli's side have had to endure at the other end. But already 16 minutes into this game, they've had 3, well, they've had 1 great chance and 2 pretty good ones.
Chelsea, who fell away in the league campaign and came into the FA Cup final knowing that if they didn't win it, they would be involved in the inter-toto route that Aston Villa had to take in the end. Stanic, knocked down by Poyet. Wise, Hasselbank, and Keane made sure there was no time for Hasselbank to have another touch. But again, Chelsea finding their cutting edge and troubling the club that are here as champions, Manchester United.
Well, it won't be the last time this season, Martin. We'll see Roy Keane back in his own penalty area, mopping up a dangerous situation as he was then.
Reverse burst.
Well, I'm just looking over at the bench, and Jaap Stam has been doing a warm-up, Martin. He's been called back very quickly. I don't know whether they've got a problem or whether they're just a little bit worried at the chances that they've conceded already in this game. It might be a pretty early substitution for Manchester United coming up.
Pass from Babayaro. Zola got up very well indeed. More concern for Sir Alex Ferguson if it's simply a matter of performance from those in the centre of his defence.
Well, he's making a change. Stam's tracksuit is off. The big Dutchman's ready to go.
Sheringham. Beckham linking up with Ryan Giggs. Leboeuf. It's rather sloppy from Giggs. And Poyet rather hooking his attempted pass for Zola. was almost getting caught in possession, having a word with Silvestre about presumably not the lack of a call, but now Keane sees something he wants to chase here. Leboeuf probably sensibly spurning the back pass because Solskjaer had read it. Manchester United's free kick, but before that, throw-in rather, before that can be taken, Jaap Stam is going to come on.
I think it's an injury, Mark. It doesn't look comfortable, Mikel Silvestre. Looks to be limping slightly as he comes on. Yeah, it's got to be an injury.
It's the physio Rob Swire looking straight away at the young French defender. So 9 days training or not, Jaap Stam's got to play the bulk of this game.
I actually think he quite enjoys it. He's the type of player who thrives on this sort of thing. He'll want to play.
A hip injury for Silvestre. Giggs. For Solskjaer.
Well, rather miscontrolled at his first touch. Just kind of bobbled up and rolled off his foot just as it's played into him. And then just there, he almost improvised beautifully. He knew as it sat up, he had to hit it. Didn't quite connect.
It's an interesting situation for the two Norwegians at these two clubs. Torre Andre Flo, top scorer last season, but not guaranteed a starting place, and when he does start, invariably substituted. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with a wonderful goals-to-game ratio. But again, not guaranteed to be in Manchester United's best 11. Well, for the most part of this opening 20 minutes, United have been on the receiving end. Chelsea haven't taken their chances. Now it's a free kick that Beckham takes for Manchester United. And, really went a long way.
I think he defended it well, Poyet. I think it was at the back post at the end, but there was a good spread of red shirts. You watch the movement there. Pretty good spread right across the box, but Frank Leboeuf and Gus Poyet just about did enough at the back post.
It was a good position for Gus Poyet. It was a bit nervous. Wave at the ball with the left foot, but Chelsea survived that. And here's Giggs. Falls between Solskjaer and Sheringham. Poyet heads on, and Hasselbank. Well, Jaap Stam took a bit of pace off the shot, but it found its way past Fabien Barthez. And Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank has given Chelsea an advantage that they thoroughly deserve in the Charity Shield.
Well, Ronnie Johnson just goes to sleep here. Look at Johnson, he tries to nick the ball, and then having not won the header, Poyet's header puts him through, and I think Jaap Stam's unlucky, Martin. I thought the chance had gone. I thought Hasselbank had delayed too long on this because the Dutch defender gets round, he gets the block in, and then he doesn't get the luck he maybe thinks he deserves. Absolutely stranded, Fabien Barthez, but it's been coming. It's the fourth very good chance the Ali side have had. This time he has taken his chance.
Giggs. Well, as I said, you do fancy him more on the right-hand side, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, but he delayed and he delayed. But it's a goal for Chelsea, and that's what he's been signed to deliver. Had a fantastic season personally and a disastrous season for his Spanish club, Atletico Madrid, in the last campaign. Beckham. Giggs just nurdling it towards Paul Scholes. There's no time for flicks and tricks for Manchester United. They've got to get the basics sorted out, particularly defensively. Zola. Classy stuff from Chelsea. And Stanic very nearly played in for another opening from Zola's pass.
Lovely football, great pace. It was a beautiful break from Chelsea. Really ripped at Manchester United at the back. They just got a bit caught. Scholes, Beckham, Giggs all get caught ahead of the ball.
Irwin. Irwin involved again. pockets for Chelsea defensively, but it was either slapped away by Desailly, effectively enough, collected by Stanic. Melchior. Hasselbank, all Dutch here, with the Melchior's pass, Stam doing the defending. And Hasselbank letting Stam know that he's around.
One or two little battles building up there, it's good to see. Certainly not much charity going on out there, is it?
Well, as you said, Andy, the crowd sometimes dictates the tempo of a match like this, and it's a very healthy Wembley attendance. Pre-publicity suggested it wouldn't be a total sellout, and I think that's the case, but looking around, one half is a sea of red, the other half the horseshoe of blue. And that's good news for the game and for those who will benefit from those who've paid for the privilege of being here. Di Matteo.
I thought the hit was on there, Martin. It opened up for him.
Especially for a man of a great reputation for scoring goals on this ground.
Just let it. He had the opportunity to strike it again. They got him in pretty free, a lot of space.
Giggs. And Frank Leboeuf wasn't going to concede anything there. Certainly going to be a free kick.
Yeah, I think the ball just bounced as Ryan Giggs controlled it. I don't think there's anything malicious in that, I have to say. As he controls it there, it bounces up and Leboeuf goes and fortunately doesn't quite catch Ryan Giggs.
Beckham. Oh, it's a beautifully disguised pass to Solskjaer. Maybe just, I suppose, a little bit of pace that made Solskjaer have to reach the ball right by the byline. But
this is one of the reasons, Martin, I think this lad can play centre midfield and can do it for England, because there ain't many players that England have that play in that area that can spot that kind of pass and then deliver it. It's when he does things like that centrally, I think it does make you wonder.
It might be easier for him to get a position in the England side in the centre midfield than for Manchester United.
That's the problem. Well, a decent game this has been. It's been a good opening quarter of the match. Been competitive. Chelsea have certainly played the better football. I don't think anyone can argue with that. 4 pretty good chances they've created, only taken the one. Manchester United, well, they've had decent possession of the ball. Haven't really, when you look at that, plenty of possession from Manchester United, but no real penetration as of yet. And I do say as of yet.
Hasselbank. And Di Matteo getting behind Stam. Ended a bit untidily for all involved, and that was to Manchester United's relief.
Again, this is good movement. Lovely run from Di Matteo after Hasselbank had dropped off the front. Good spot with the pass. Lovely delivery there. Just check on the ball to hold it up. Almost.
Here's Stam. It's often said that teams have to get a goal when they are enjoying a period of ascendancy, especially against Manchester United. As though Chelsea weren't going to do that, but they finally took that chance. Early ball from Beckham. Solskjaer. Combination of Melchior and Stanic doing what was necessary for the London club.
That was much better from Manchester United, Martin. That period of passing across on the right-hand side was brisk, and it was a beautiful ball from right to left from David Beckham.
Yaro, who it seems will be needed by Nigeria for the Olympics in September, will be Chelsea's loss. mentioned earlier, Andy, that Manchester United have lost the last 2 Charity Shields. No club has ever lost 3 in a row. Of course, not that many clubs have been in 3 in a row,
exactly.
Given the difficulty of finding yourself in the Charity Shield by winning an honour the previous season. Sheringham. Booted away by Babayaro, met by Ronnie Johnson. Cleans a deflected header wide. Closing down Gary Neville.
Free kick just been given. He doesn't think so. Like indicating it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Riley's got his point across that it is a free kick to Chelsea, and Babayaro was confused. Stanic making that move again. I'm sure Premiership scouts will be taking due note of the number of switch balls from left to right that Chelsea are using to Stanic. Here's Barthez, who has his own style of keeping goal. He's a very good kicker. He comes actually from a part of France where rugby is the main game, and his early sporting roots were in rugby.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's just had his first bollocking from Roy Keane, Mark. You should have seen the United skipper. He's just launched at the goalkeeper. Asked him what on earth was he doing away out there trying to get control of a throw-in.
Barthez is back where Roy Keane would expect him to be. Roy Keane, incidentally, now the subject of our player camera for Sky Digital viewers on channel 404. Owen. Back and doing it safely and sensibly. Yes. Oh, Sheringham looking for support from Keane, but it was under hit the layoff. Made Keane have to scramble, and in the end trying to get the ball back Manchester United's way. He's been penalised. Just rather typical of Manchester United to this point, even though, as Andy has said, they have had plenty of the ball, but not in the areas that really look to hurt Chelsea. Again, it's Manchester United giving it away. We're still at the stage of ironing out the wrinkles for what is upcoming, particularly next weekend, the start of the Premiership. Chelsea begin at home to West Ham. And Manchester United, a week today, and we'll be able to see it with us on Sky Sports, start their defence of the Premiership title at home to Newcastle. Booming kick from Barthez. From the made ground to try and join Solskjaer. Amongst the Manchester United substitutes, Philip Neville just got a good cheer warming up there from the United fans. I guess that won't necessarily be the same on the away grounds. He, like Kevin Keegan, have the catastrophe of Charleroi to put behind them. Sheringham. All very cleanly played in the end by Melchiot. That needed to be the case, but that was better for Manchester United.
Lovely, wasn't it? More assured. A lot of one-touch stuff there again. A pretty good tackle from Melchiot.
Johnson. Giggs trying to find Solskjaer, and Leboeuf hadn't cleared decisively seconds earlier.
It's the first real bit of sustained pressure that Manchester United have had in this match.
Isn't really the angle for the pass. They doubled up on Beckham at Chelsea through Di Matteo and Poyet. Giggs. Albiaro gets a foot in. Poyet. Desai, Wise. Leboeuf deciding that it's time to just whack it rather than keep that short passing. Here's Zola. Hasselbank trying to get across in front of Stam, and he wasn't going to allow himself to be passed then. In fact, the free kick's been given against Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. Scholes hasn't overtaxed himself in terms of making those runs into the penalty area, but he's making one now as United work it to Irwin. Stanic doing a good job defensively.
He has done well. Stanic just left-hand side, Mark, or right-hand side for Chelsea.
White. There's Hasselbank. He's got Babayaro on the far touchline. He looks for Zola. And confusion between Irwin and Barthez. I think Zola probably, once his touch hadn't been decisive, just switched off for a second. He's on the ball now. He's got Di Matteo. And that could have run off Poyet into a shooting position for the Uruguayan, but it didn't, and Manchester United breathe again.
Yeah, lovely run. I have to say, great ball in.
Is a beautiful Beckham pass, and from it, Solskjaer thought he had earned a corner. It looks as though Mike Riley's pointed for a goal kick.
Yeah, he has, Martin. He has given a goal kick. I think Leboeuf's just taken a knock on his head as he slid into the tackle. But this is the earlier chance, and once that right foot went up from Zola, Martin, I thought he was just going to control it and roll it in. And watch Barthez, really, he's committed himself. He's almost gone past the ball. He puts his hand up as if to say to Dennis Irwin, I've got it. A little bit of indecision there. Still a bit of getting to know you to be done, I'm sure, between goalkeeper and back four.
Coming up for you later today, one of the clubs that Alec used to manage, St Mirren, against the club he certainly used to play for, Rangers. And so Sky Sports 1 from Scotland's Premier League, 5:30. And we're at Old Trafford on Wednesday night on Sky Sports Extra. Dennis Irwin's testimonial occasion, and Manchester derby, United v City. Banks is the Chelsea physio. Intercepting. And on a general subject about Chelsea, Gianluca Vialli said at the end of the Premiership season he needed to bring down the average age of the side. Yeah. Hasn't been a huge evidence of that, has it?
No, I looked at the side today, Mark. 7 of them are 30 and over. 2 more are 28 years of age. They've got 2 players only on the pitch starting lineup who are under 28. So that does suggest that there's a little bit of work to do for that. I think he knows that, but I do think he's got a side now, Martin, that really he feels has got to win the title. Certainly this bunch of players within the next couple of years. If not this, then most certainly next.
It is amazing to hear you say that, because Chelsea are a club that have only ever won one league championship, but such has been the investment at Stamford Bridge that absolutely right that the title is the logical target for that kind of money being put in. Zola has worked at the training camp in Holland in partnership with Hasselbank on those sort of runs. But now it's a Sheringham fed by Solskjaer, and Teddy Sheringham trying to put it back in towards his strike partner rather than go on for goal himself. Not too sure of his own acceleration in those circumstances.
Yeah, he was always looking for the pass, Teddy. I thought he might have just taken out his feet and struck it.
Wise. Melchiot's forced it through to Stanic. Chelsea on the hunt for a second before half-time. And Poyet coming in at the far post, there's always a chance of that.
Well, he did well in the end, Gary Neville, because you felt that Poyet was certainly favourite. The type of ball that he thrives on, stood up by Stanic. Poyet coming in against a smaller fullback.
Keane. Scholes, but no one quite on his wavelength there. Well, there's a consummate header of the ball in your day, and you must be delighted with the way Chelsea are looking to switch the play for midfield men who are good in the air.
Well, we wondered about Stanic, and we weren't sure whether he would actually stay wide right. What he has done that, Martin. He's given them good width on this right-hand side. It has meant that Gus Poyet then can drift in from the left.
Sheringham. They've gone near post through Sheringham and Solskjaer. Ball just had too much on it from Beckham.
But you know what's happening. I mean, you could almost, if you were a Manchester United player, as soon as David Beckham took his first touch, you knew the second ball was being delivered.
Zola just stealing away from Ronnie Johnson. And recognising there wasn't too much support.
Nothing wrong with that, is there? He knew he was on his own. The hand goes up, and thanks to a lovely crossfield pass, just pulls on the shoulder of the centre-back. Angle's always tight, but why not? Sat up beautifully, he's got the ability. A little Italian. Why not have a go? He's been bright, he's been alive, he's been alert, Zola, in this half.
White. For Manchester United there, and Paul Scholes in particular. Stam had to really flex the neck muscles there. This long-headed back pass always carries the risk if an impetuous goalkeeper, and there's a bit of that about Barthez. He's in your team, but Stam and the new man from Monaco were perfectly clued in then. That was got forward from Beckham's pass. Sheringham. And he had to play that blind, rather.
What a ball from Beckham, though, again, man. He had to drop that virtually on, well, we'll call it a 5p. It used to be a sixpence in the old day, but the kids of the day will recognise 5 pence. That's how accurate that pass had to be.
Poyet. Got Di Matteo with him. Here's Robbie Di Matteo. Pass is forced in wide. Hasselbank's waiting in the centre. And, well, there were 4 for Chelsea, hoping for the ball played with better precision, but it wasn't all Di Matteo's fault. He could have actually been put in at goal by Poyet in the first place.
No, it wasn't a great ball, was it? But having got to the touchline, I felt sure he had to stand it.
Scholes. Sheringham. Scholes. All a bit tight for Manchester United, but they've just widened it a bit now to Sheringham.
They didn't have great options. A look across the 6-yard box. Solskjaer, Giggs and Scholes. And I think Melchior, Stanic, Leboeuf, Desailly felt pretty comfortable dealing with any cross.
This is defending by Desailly with 90 seconds plus added time to go before half-time. So they're winning another header. Leboeuf's got a problem here because Paul Scholes has darted in with one of his trademark runs.
Well, I have to say, Beckham's accuracy is absolutely astounding. Absolutely astounding. Look at this. I mean, that is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. The run's a great one, I have to say. It's one thing to make the run, but to somebody to pick you out as well as he's done. Got away with a little bit of a left arm use there as it dropped, but, well, 45th minute of the match. It wouldn't have surprised anyone if Manchester United had equalised.
As I say, Scholes had kept himself pretty much in check for the first half an hour or so. Hardly a surprise tactic. No. It was a great piece of play from Manchester United that so nearly brought them level. Well, Manchester United do have options if they are looking for an equaliser. Dwight York, top scorer in his 2 seasons at the club. Andy Cole not too far behind. Cole's had a toe operation. York's got a bit of a thigh strain and he's off yet again to represent Trinidad and Tobago next week, so he's going to be punched up in an aeroplane. Chelsea's half, no doubt about that. 1 goal though from Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. It could and maybe should have been more. Manchester United improving as the half went on, and there was room for improvement. Busily looking around to see what part of the substitution procedure might be brought in by either manager during the half-time break. 7 named substitutes for each side. Of course, Manchester United have already brought on Jaap Stam, and 5 players in all can be used from the bench in the legislation for this competition. Nicky Butt, who you might recall seeing sent off at Watford towards the end of the Premiership season, still got 3 games of that ban to serve, but it doesn't apply today, so he is available if required from the United bench. Got to wait for Marcel Desailly, who strangely has never started a Premiership game against Manchester United. Come on as a substitute a couple of years ago. The games last year will live long in the memory. The 5-0 Chelsea win at Stamford Bridge, Easter Monday at Old Trafford, and Manchester United in a very eventful match, won 3-2 in the end. And Chelsea sustain it here in the Charity Shield. Wise. United, the very first winners of this trophy, which is pretty impressive in size. Actually won it at Chelsea against Queen's Park Rangers back in 1908. The sort of money that's been really raised has come since the switch to Wembley in the mid-70s. And Sheringham with each other after that broke down, and Poyet on the ball. Hasselbank trying to stay on side, and he just run where Poyet thought he was going to run.
He was running across the line, Mark. They're trying to bend his run, he stay on side. Much like the situation in the first half, he just put the brakes on just as Poyet released the pass, but That was a little worrying sign again. Gus Poyet just drifted in from the left. Acres of space was found quite comfortably.
The problem with all the top clubs who had players at Euro 2000 is they've had some late arrivals at the training. Dix. Now Sheringham. Drawn out of the centre. Got a good turn of foot. Ryan Giggs not really in full match stride, you feel?
I think that goes for a lot of the players, Mark. I think they are, as I've said, not quite peaking Charity Shield Day, but all working towards it. We talked on a day when it's been pretty warm down there at pitch level. We talked about 7 players wearing the blue of Chelsea who are 30 plus. I just wonder if that'll prove a factor as the game goes on.
34-year-old Zola. Pick out Hasselbank. A nudge on Roy Keane from Di Matteo as the back pass was put in place by the Manchester United skipper. Keane quickly on the scene, wanting to take a free kick. Neville. Not worried about getting the ball with a defender tight on him. In fact, Abiyaro too tight.
Yeah, linesman actually gave that. I think the referee was just going to let it go, but flag went up pretty quickly. It's just a case of you can get too tight. No reason for Abiyaro to give away a free kick there. That's a dangerous area. Options here. Beckham to float it in. Giggs might even fancy the shot.
Plenty of movement from Manchester United. It's Beckham who clips it in. Comes out for Paul Scholes. Difficult one to keep down, and in fact it was deflected as well. And United have a corner.
Well, that's a poor defensive header from Marcel Desailly. The idea here is get height and distance, clear the box, but he just heads it straight into the ground. Pretty good block from Melchior.
Giggs active at the shortish corner. Stam at the back post. Leboeuf gets ahead to it. Sheringham trying to go in there, and he was going for ball he really had very little chance of getting, and the free kick almost a formality.
2 good headers there, one from Stam and the other from Leboeuf.
Quick thinking by Ryan Giggs to just catch Chelsea back on their heels at the corner.
I think this is what you see, that angled ball from Ed de Hoy, Martin, to Stanic, and I think with Poyet, it's something that Chelsea can vary now quite well. If they can get it down at the back, they're happy to play. But if teams get set against them, what they have now is they've got Stanic wide on the right, Poyet wide on the left when they play, and they can angle any ball they want over either of those two. And I think pretty comfortable in the noise. They're going to win the fair share.
Strong Barthez kick, too strong, showing him a straight offside. Chasing. Sure work from Irwin. Barthez has got the 6 seconds, remember. The ball in his hands. Touch on by Solskjaer, showing him up by Leboeuf.
They do get caught man for man at the back, Chelsea often, man. I don't know whether it's something we're going to see this year, but I have noticed even in the first half that if United have put 3 up front, they're just happy to stay with the 3. They've got it again here now. You look at the situation building up. They're happy to go man for man at the back.
Manchester United have got a midfield player forward as well in Roy Keane, but for once Beckham's precision is not there. Melchior looking out to Hasselbank, supported by Di Matteo. Hasselbank again. Wise can go right to Stanic. Rather than committing himself, and when you do that as a defender, you've got to get something, and he got the ball. remains a bit grey and overcast as it is, but it doesn't disguise the humidity. It's very sticky at Wembley today. Celestine Babayaro. Just dropping back to stop Babayaro throwing the ball to Di Matteo, who was unmarked. And Manchester United just got the Solskjaer off the pitch if they can seize possession, which they do here with Giggs. Scholes has been a bit wayward. Melchiot trying to get it into Hasselbank. He's done that back for Mario Melchiot. It wasn't an easy ball to hit, and he made light of the difficulties. Got it forward towards Barthez, who had to make the save. Desai pressed by Sheringham, forced the mistake. Scholes, Sheringham again. Keane wants it, doesn't get it.
Should have had it. Looked for a difficult ball, Teddy.
Nicely lifted forward by Stanic to Wise. Zola. Felt Stam at his back. There goes United's way. Yep, Stam had a rather disconcerting start in English football in a Charity Shield a couple of years ago. Nicholas Anelka gave him a daunting time here. Stam has proved that he's a much better player than he looked on that afternoon.
That was just after the World Cup, wasn't that, as well? It was another big
price.
Yeah, big price. He'd just come back from the big tournament. Wasn't quite match fit. I think everyone knew that. I think we've seen already today the importance he's going to play again this season for Manchester United. They're going to succeed Jaap Stam. He's an absolute giant.
Good work by Hasselbank.
That's where they've been good today for me, Chelsea. They've been great up front. In particular, the two front men, Zola and Hasselbank. They've always been lively, always been on the move.
That's a late tackle by Stanic. No hard feelings from Irwin. The referee read it well, didn't have any problems to sort out. Stam. Manchester United still a goal down. Babayaro. Hasselbank measuring his pass for Stanic. No one wide of him. Zola is trying to give him an angle a bit further forward, moving to the right. Wise is on the scene, but Zola crosses towards Poyet. Babayaro is well forward as well. Di Matteo. Nice orderly nature about Chelsea in this piece of play. Wise, but Keane stops it. Melchiot. Babayaro. Good run by the Nigerian. Deep towards Dennis Wise. Trying to glance it back for Stanic. That was the idea. It didn't quite come off, and Manchester United grateful that it didn't. It's a beautiful pass from Solskjaer.
Yeah, look who was back with Roy Keane, Mark, the 34-year-old. Zola tracked all the way back, make life difficult for the United skipper.
Game spread at the moment, and here come Chelsea with Di Matteo. Zola decides to cross it early, and not the worst ball either, but you couldn't blame Zola. He'd just been running hard the opposite direction.
Well, there's been a controlled pace to the game, but just in the last couple of minutes, it's got spread for the first time, and now there's a bit more pace to the whole game.
Giggs trying to impose his turn of foot. Melchiot has the response.
And here they come again now.
Maybe the meat of the match here. Di Matteo. And Chelsea have got 5 forward.
Oh, go on, go on. I tell you, the run wasn't designed to do anything, I don't think, from Stanic, but take the players away and let Di Matteo go forward and strike the ball.
Solskjaer able to, well, he could have turned, decided not to. Scholes. Beckham. Shouldn't worry too much, Manchester United fans, if the Charity Shield is lost here today. They lost the last two, and the two subsequent seasons weren't too bad, were they? But they don't want to lose it, the team in red. Scholes in the thick of the action, just inside that Chelsea penalty area. Hasselbank. Chelsea happy to try and pick a way forward on the break, but the referee doesn't help.
Good little ball, that, Mike Riley.
Give and go with Gus Poyet. Di Matteo. Caballero has covered a lot of ground, but they can keep it central, Chelsea. And that was not the right angle for Hasselbank's challenge on Keane, and referee Riley was across at the sprint, just in case. Roy
I'm not so sure it's Hasselbank here, Martin, or whether it's Gus Poyet. Just as a little bit, he gets caught on the ankle, but then you see Poyet just catches him in the thigh. Maybe a combination of both.
Jimmy Floyd in the thick of things. We've seen that scowl of his from time to time in the past.
He stand his ground, Hasselbank, make no mistake about that.
Roy Keane needing some calming influences.
I don't think it was anything sinister in the tackle. I think it was mistimed, but it certainly caught Roy Keane on the ankle. But I think there's a bit of a overreaction here. I suppose beginning of the season, the one thing you don't want to do is pick up an injury.
Well, if he's going to get some attention, it's going to have to be off the pitch. Referees are encouraged again this season to do that, and well, he's come back on again after a word with the Manchester United medical men. Scholes. Good movement by Solskjaer, similar to the run when Beckham made that pass in the first half.
Supreme defending though from Desailly, Mark, again. He saw the run, he tracked the run, he saw the danger away. Yeah, it's just picked up a tempo or two, isn't it?
Steamy the weather, and a steamy side to the contest as well, with almost an hour gone. Chelsea scored just approaching the halfway mark in the first half through Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. That's a very healthy kick by Fabian Barthez, and remember there's a new ball in the Premiership this season. The players who've worked with it will tell you that it really flies. Not being used here today. Wise on Giggs. Another test on the charitable views of Mike Riley.
I think a word he's just saying to Dennis Wise. I think a word is right. I think 7 days from now it might be a different result from a tackle like that, but I think today...
Chelsea haven't put up much of a wall yet. Here comes Beckham. Sheringham is trying to get into the line of it to get a telling glancing blow. Wise had to reverse it and did. Could have gone to Zola. It went to Hasselbank. Well, he moved his way across the line of Jaap Stam, I thought cleverly, to draw the foul then, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, but he didn't get the free kick. Chelsea back on the ball again, and Hasselbank was about to start his complaints, concentrating on now as to whether he might receive a pass. More imperious play from Desailly as he was being fouled by Sheringham. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, all good stuff. Absolutely right. He goes across the defender here. Jaap Stam arms up, saying no contact.
Now it's Keane, and I think that might be too much for Mike Riley, who has tried to keep the cards away from view. Oh, he sent Keane off. Roy Keane, red carded in the Charity Shield. Well, he collided and connected with Poyet here.
No, that's an awful tackle. Absolutely awful. Look, the referee stood 10 yards to the right. Not even that. No one wants to see anyone get off in this today in a competition like this, the Charity Shield, but I'm afraid that the referee was left with very little option there. I was almost going to say, Martin, would it be worth Alex's mate just saying maybe taking Roy Keane off after that incident where he certainly lost his rag, lost his composure.
Well, the last Charity Shield at Wembley produces a red card, just as the first one did for Kevin Keegan, and indeed Billy Bremner as well, back in 1974. So it's not a unique occasion, but it's unsightly and a bit unseemly nonetheless. But it had been brewing. Keane had the air of a man who felt that had he been the culprit on a few occasions for challenges on him, that he would have had punishment, and maybe feeling that a lack of justice, but that couldn't excuse the way he went in with foot raised, and that's another black mark in terms of a red card on his Manchester United record. There have been too many of them, and certainly since becoming the skipper there's even less excuse.
Will that be sort of a three-match ban in that, Mark? This comes without straight reds, three?
Yeah.
Well, we mentioned Nicky Butt being out for what, 3
Well, he
games?
got 4 because it was his second sending off. That was 3+1. So Chelsea seem to hold the cards now. A goal up, a man up. Solskjaer. Well, if you thought you were in for a gentle curtain raiser, you were wrong. Irwin. Beckham. Flag had gone up. And Solskjaer acknowledging that he just switched off for a moment to be caught offside.
Well, I think what Alex certainly might do now is he's almost going two at the back, man for man. Gary Neville, Beckham, Scholes and Dennis Irwin, almost a quartet midfield, and then I think he's just going to spread Giggs, Sheringham and Solskjaer right across the front.
Hasselback.
Stanic is on, change of play.
He's done just that. For Stanic, early towards Zola. Jonsson able to get across. Zola, I'm sure, feeling the effects of his exertions, which have been considerable to this point.
That was good defending from Ronnie Jonsson, had to adjust his position.
Sheringham trying to take it on the burst past Leboeuf, who had the change of gear necessary.
I'm just looking down to my right and I see York and Cole warming up behind the goal.
Melchiot. Hasselback. Now Babayaro. Chelsea trying to rub it in here. Poyet. Early cross. Hasselback.
I just looked back there, Mario Stanic threw his head up there as if to say, oh, if only I'd gone forward that time. It was a great ball right into an area I should have been coming into, but he'd just taken a breather on the halfway line.
As Hasselback had put off Ronnie Jonsson, who couldn't deal really decisively with the ball from the left-hand side for Chelsea.
Yeah, we talked about the weather, it's now chucking it down.
Visible humidity. Leboeuf. Assistant on the far side, Jim Devine, puts up the flag. Scholes. Solskjaer. Sheringham. Leboeuf. Read the intentions of the Norwegian. Solid block. Here comes Irwin. It's a throw. Marquardt got a bit of the ball.
Well, again, Teddy Sheringham, Mark, they came back to him, edge of the box, could have been no more than 20 yards out. I thought he was going to pull the trigger again, but decided to play it wide to Solskjaer.
Giggs. Included by Melchiot, who tried to stand there with his arms up to indicate that there's nothing intentional. Set pieces in this sort of position might well represent Manchester United's best opportunity in these circumstances. Beckham is parried by Ed de Goey. And here's Barthez up by the halfway line. We'd better going the other side when Manchester United have drifted players to the left. He's scampering back now.
What a ball that was from David Beckham, Martin, again. Absolutely evil to deal with. I'm not so sure how close Ronnie Johnson got to it, but Ed de Goey managed to scramble it clear.
Chelsea goalkeeper who kept a record number of clean sheets for the club last season, 27.
Yeah, normally you go down to 10 men, you think, well, that's it, done and dusted, but I can certainly remember a FA Cup semi-final where the very same Roy Keane was sent off at Villa Park, and Manchester United were good enough with 10 men to go on and win that match against Arsenal.
Did Manchester United not win an FA Cup final with 10 men?
I'm not going to argue with you if you tell me they did, son.
Oh, you were on the pitch.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Selective memory, Mr. Gray, again. You haven't changed in the close season. Just over 20 minutes to go, and it's time for the power and certainly potential here in these circumstances of Messrs. Cole and York. Sheringham is heading off. Solskjaer, not sure whether his number is up as well. But it is. Useful pair to have to bring on.
Not bad couple of subs.
Word is coming out of Old Trafford, though the player hasn't said it to me himself, but that Cole would like to be called Andrew rather than Andy. Well, I'll check that one for you before
I'll
apologise
then before the season even starts. I'll have great difficulty in calling him that, having been calling him Andy Cole for the last 8 or 9 years.
As we all have done. Andrew Gray.
Thank you, Martin.
So Jody Morris, who played and started, in fact, the Charity Shield against Manchester United here 3 years ago when he was a real young up-and-coming. He's on now in place of Di Matteo. Confirmation of Alec Ferguson's changes. Scholes, pressed by Morris. It was just trying to help Manchester United keep possession then, but in fact The ball allowed Hasselbank to get in front, and he was fouled. Chelsea have worked the free kick sensibly, and Owen can't stop it being switched. Kostanic. He only cut it back for Scholes, which certainly wasn't part of the blueprint for the team in blue.
No, it was a bit unlike him as well, Stanic. So much time, Martin, so much space. I thought he rushed it slightly.
He's a well-travelled man, Stanic. He's played in Spain, Portugal, Belgium, as well as his native Croatia, and of course Italy, where he's come from, to the English game. Melchiot. It's 2-0, and it's Mario Melchiot with 18 minutes to go. Low past Barthez.
I have to say, Martin, there's a lot of talent out in this pitch, but that guy there has had a fantastic game as a defender. And my goodness, has he not just topped it up with a quite beautiful goal. Great bit of running there, the movement was excellent. Stam doesn't go to close him out. He decides to stay, Jaap Stam. And what a controlled finish. Not just a blast, this opens himself out and then just slots it across the goalkeeper. Wonderful finish from Melchior.
Well, my goodness, Chelsea fans had to wait a long, long time before they saw anything of him. He came with a foot injury at the start of last season. He was actually introduced to the Chelsea fans when they played Sunderland on the opening day. Gudjohnsen is on, the newcomer this season. But Melchiot was actually paraded on crutches, which is not the ideal way to be introduced to a new set of supporters. He was on those crutches for a long, long time. It was only in the last few weeks of the season that he finally got into the first team. He's making up for lost time.
Well, I think the time now, Chelsea will start to ring the changes and feel sure out. On has come Gudjohnsen. They're set to make yet another change. Can't quite see from here. Looks like Graham Rousseau, is it?
Yes, yeah. It is. Owen. So Melchiot has made it double trouble for the 10 men of Manchester United.
He just lost his footing, you know, seeing it again, Matt, as he struck
he did,
the ball.
didn't he? Yeah.
I don't know whether it just struck his other freestanding foot and it just drifted through Jaap Stam's legs. But hey, he deserved his bit of luck.
It's his sixth start for Chelsea. Two of them have been here at Wembley. York. Becker. Gary Neville. Chelsea backpedaling for once. Encouraging Neville to have a rather optimistic strike. At least he's trying to make things happen for Manchester United in obviously difficult circumstances. Giggs trying to wriggle through with the same thought uppermost in his mind. Gudjohnsen is now the subject of our player cam for Sky Digital viewers, channel 404, the Icelander who played here for Bolton Wanderers in each of the last two seasons. You like him, don't you, Andy Gudjohnsen?
I do.
What you've seen,
yeah, what I've seen, and certainly in the First Division, Martin. What's going to be interesting for me is, can he take that form that he showed, that promise, and it was great promise at Bolton. Can he take it and put it onto the Premiership stage? If he can, I feel sure it's money pretty well spent by Chelsea.
Well, let's welcome back to Graham Rousseau. His last Premiership game was in October when Chelsea lost that 2-0 lead to Arsenal and Kanu stole the show. Ankle problems that went on and on and on. Lasso is back for Poyet. And he mentions of England's lack of a natural left-sided player. Could have been Lasso.
Well, certainly you feel sure if Graeme Lasso is fit and playing, then it would be certainly in the squad. Kevin Keegan is here today. We're pleased to make a note of that. Graeme Lasso is back, is playing, and is playing just ahead of the left back.
York. With Johnson. Found the ball that he could hunt down then. Babayaro. Certainly need a fit Lasso, and Babayaro goes off to the Olympics. Well, that was Lasso's cross. Measured for Hasselback.
Well, the cross was better than the header, I have to say. Not a bad first touch. Feel pretty good after this. They've got good pressure in there. 3 blue shirts, splitting the 3 defenders. Wasn't a difficult header for Jimmy Floyd. He's disappointed. He knows he maybe should and could have done better.
It's the South African international Quinton Fortune comes on for Ryan Giggs. Like for like on the left-hand side of midfield. But I don't think involve any other switch of personnel. Stanic. Well, Gianluca Vialli already got happy Wembley memories of his relatively short managerial career, certainly compared to his rival manager today. Although he won't be getting carried away with it. It's a good day to be a winner.
Oh, absolutely.
Charity Shield.
Wembley, Mark. I've never known Wembley to be a good place for anything other than winning a football match. No doubt. I think it's a bigger match, obviously, for Chelsea. I think that goes without saying. With the season coming up, for them to play well and win today, which at the moment they're doing both things. They're playing well, they're winning the football match. I don't think you're going to see Alex or anybody at Old Trafford panic, particularly after this. But it's a great boost for Chelsea if they can see this game out now.
Hasselback who can hit them from here.
It's going to be interesting when they get a few free kicks around the edge of the box with Zola's on the pitch at the same time as them. Again, that'll be plenty of variation.
He's fitted in very well, I'm told, Jimmy Floyd Hasselback. And the Chelsea players have been particularly impressed with the standards that he sets, not just for himself, but for others in training. He's been in awe at times of his accuracy in the shooting routines.
He hasn't scored as many goals as he has without practice, that's for sure.
From Melchiot. It's a good time to make a mistake, maybe, against Manchester United. Fortune. Berth is there to deal with the cross. And we're into the last 10 minutes. Babayaro. Here's Lasso. Gary Neville having to twist hither and thither. Barthez concerned about who might be coming in beyond him. He actually turned the unorthodox way, but he made a very safe catch. Turned in towards, chest on towards his own goal. I was going to say he didn't turn a hair, but that would be rather foolish. Berth also in the follically challenged French brigade.
Well, that's what he'd want to do. Gianluca Vialli will want his team man just to pop the ball about. They've got the quality on the field. There's absolutely no reason why they shouldn't be popping this about, passing, moving, making Manchester United chase it.
Twice in a minute, Paul Scholes, maybe less than that, yellow card for him.
It's an unnecessary one, isn't it? A little bit of frustration, that's all.
And the season coming up, of course, there is going to be a severe financial punishment for any club that gets 6 yellow cards in a game.
Well, it's a fair distance, but certainly Hasselbank is good enough.
Just rolled by Wise, and Frank Leboeuf was saying, well, I'm unmarked, let me have it. The referee wasn't ready. I mean, we're going to get the wall back 9.15 metres. That's not the place where the infringement occurred. Still Leboeuf is there. Wider this time. For Wise. Hasselbank leaping out of the way, and Wise and Scholes just before had an eye on each other. It's been that sort of second half in which, if you just joined us, Roy Keane red-carded. Manchester United were already 1-0 down to Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, and with 10 men they conceded a second to Mario Melchiot. Barreling his way past 2 and fighting Leboeuf in the process. Scholes, York, Scholes again.
Well, Leboeuf had just had a whack at the ball, and I don't know where they caught the bottom of Andy Cole's boot. Certainly that looks to me what he's done. There it goes, he's just whacked at the ball, caught the sole of his boot. I have to say, there's a lot of little bones on top of your foot. And certainly easy to do damage there.
Stoppage just gives us a chance to remind you what's coming up later. St Mirren against Rangers. 5:30, in fact, Sky Sports 1 from Scotland's Premier League. And then on Wednesday, Manchester United play again against Manchester City in Dennis Irwin's much-merited testimonial. That's on Sky Sports Extra.
Well, Leboeuf trots back on, so no great damage there.
Back up. This is Fortune. It's Dwight York showing his luck, getting a deflection, bringing Manchester United a corner inside the final 5 minutes now, with some extra to be added on. That stoppage for Leboeuf, and 2 other incidents in the second half. Beckham to take it. Bypass Leboeuf at the near post. Fortune. Oh, just drifting away from the Chelsea backline to make himself available. Beckham. Missed that at York. Rustiness in the touch. Great idea by Lasso. He did so well to spot Gudjohnsen. Owen was back. thought of Dennis Irwin sitting this one out, or getting a short shift to make sure he's fit for his own testimonial match. That would not be in his nature at all.
No, absolutely not. He wants to play in as many games as he can. 34 years of age.
He's getting on for 500 for Manchester United. Should make that number this season. Giggs, incidentally, passed 400 on the last day of last season. That's incredible when he's only 26. Stanic. Just coming round them directly behind Gudjohnsen. If he had a good look. York. Stanic, Manchester United trying to hold hardly a line. It was Jaap Stam.
A line of one.
Step up. Right to the halfway line itself. Cole. Only York in the centre. And it skews off a wearying Desailly. He was one of the last back in training for Chelsea after, of course, being given time off for holiday following France's success in Euro 2000.
Yeah, we're 89th minute of the match, man. I think all the players that have played for that length of time have all done pretty well. I think the level of fitness has been pretty good. I think certainly both managers will be pleased with that.
A bit of hesitation by Ed de Hoey, and no wonder, because it was another ball wickedly curved by David Beckham. Responsibility for the Manchester United right, passes to Fortune. Neville to Scholes. Stan. Also trying to hold the line on the edge of the area. Fortune trying to come in behind Graham Lasso.
Looked the corner to me, I have to say. But he headed it against Graham Lasso. Good vision from Paul Scholes, just looks up, sends a diagonal. Yeah, I thought it just came off Lasso.
So there will be 4 added minutes. It could feel a real slog for those who've been out there since the start. Nothing like competitive matches to get everybody fully attuned for what's expected of them in the league and the cup ties to come. And the internationals, of course. No case of Manchester United undervaluing this occasion and putting out an understrength side. They've been second best on the day.
Yeah, absolutely no doubt about that. Chelsea have had another pretty good day here at the Twin Towers.
Gudjohnsen might not be over yet. Hasselback. Montez not giving it up, getting it to... Of course, his goalkeepers had to do out quickly, but the urgency of the situation in the match as well. Scholes. Cole. Still the opportunity for a player in a red shirt to score under the gaze of the Twin Towers here. And the last club match to be staged in the stadium as it is at the moment. And Scholes, feinting the shoot, looking to feed it into a player ahead of him who was a Fortune that time. A Fortune for Chelsea in the roll of the ball off the referee. Stanic. Never Beckham's in the centre of Manchester United's defence at the moment. Chelsea can take their time. So need to hurry with Johnson, but he changes the pace there. Interplay between the two attackers. Another strike towards the Manchester United goal from Chelsea to put on the statistical sheet, if not one on target.
Yeah, pretty strange. That's the one thing that Manchester United have lacked today, Mark. It's really a test in the goal. I can't remember Ed De Hoy having a save. I think from that free kick that David Beckham bent in, and he had to come out and scramble it away. But I can't think of another shot that the Chelsea goalkeeper has had to deal with.
Scholes. Neville. It's worth mentioning again that losing a Charity Shield has not been a recipe for disaster for Manchester United.
And winning it, not the answer for success in many occasions. I think what it had, but as I said, it's been a good day for Chelsea, Martin. I think it's a bigger result for them. I think if United had come here and swept them aside, so to speak, then mentally Chelsea might have thought, oh, what a blow that is, right at the beginning of the season. The opposite's happened. Chelsea have played well. Manchester United haven't quite been at the best.
Leboeuf scraping it away. Another Wembley clean sheet, it seems, for him. There's a few to his name. Well, the Charity Shield to remember more than most as the last club match at this Wembley Stadium. It ends in victory for Gianluca Vialli and Chelsea. A real case of double Dutch. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank with the first, Mario Melchiot with the second. And Chelsea take the Shield for only the second time. And even Sir Alec Ferguson, whose post-match words are often picked very carefully in defeat, I would think would feel that Chelsea got what they deserved today.
I wouldn't argue with that. I don't think anyone can who's watched the game either here or at home that Chelsea started the better, were the better for the majority of the game. They had great chances and quite deservedly have ended up winning this trophy.
Well, let's get an immediate reaction from the Chelsea camp and join Claire Tomlinson.
Well, I'm joined down here at pitchside by man of the match, Gianfranco Zola. Gianfranco, the first trophy of the new season for Chelsea. How important is it for you to have won that?
Yeah, it's very important because I think starting in a proper way is the best. So we were very much focused in this game because we know that playing a good game against Manchester United is always a good boost for yourself, for the team, and for the crowd. So it's the best way to start a season difficult for us.
A new partnership up front for you today, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, record signing. How did you feel that went?
No, very well. I think we're doing very well for the moment. Of course, we have to work, improve. That the beginning is very good for the moment.
Okay, we're joined down here at pitchside by Sir Geoff Hurst, who's going to present the Man of the Match award.
Gianfranco, well done. Your team played very well today, and I make you the one-to-one man of the match. Well done. Good start to the team played very well. Congratulations.
Geoff Hurst, who emerged from England's failed World Cup bid, at least with his reputation still intact. Ken Bates, alongside the Arsenal vice-chairman David Dein. Ken Bates, who knows more than most about the future of the Wembley complex. He'll be pleased with what he's seen from his Chelsea club today. The real downside for Manchester United, the red card for Roy Keane, which will mean suspension. It will mean the wrong sort of headlines, I'm afraid, in the newspapers tomorrow.
But there's a bunch of players here, Mark, that will get over this pretty quickly, I'm sure of that. They know what's required of them this season. This, whether they win it or not, at the end of the season will become irrelevant really to them. Their goals are the ones they set out with. And we don't really need the confidence boost of winning the Charity Shield, whereas I think Chelsea did. And I think that's what's so positive, and Gianfranco Zola was right there. It means starting properly, and that's what Chelsea have done. They've started the campaign properly. Now they've got to take this positive performance on to Stamford Bridge next week and continue it from there.
As they play West Ham, Mario Stanic is calling it the Croatian derby against the Stimac and Šuker, of course. Not just the London derby. But of course that works against the London clubs in the Championship. I'm sure as a non-London man, Andy, you've heard that down the years and probably not always agreed with it, but that's what the teams from the capital feel.
Well, has it stopped Arsenal, has it? One would have to say that.
That's a fair point. It's Jaap Stam in the absence of Keane, who has to lead Manchester United up. He didn't even start the game. He didn't expect to finish it by going up the steps at the head of the line. Well, 2 years ago they lost 3-0 to Arsenal. Last season it was 2-1 to Arsenal. Manchester United losing the Charity Shield, the only club to lose it 3 times in a row. An odd fact. An experience that has done them very little harm. David Beckham still embroidered the occasion with more than a glimpse of his qualities. And there are players up there, proven winners, who will be ready and raring to go when they run out alongside Newcastle United at Old Trafford next Sunday. A little bit of banter there between Ken Bates and Sir Alex Ferguson, I can assure you, with a smile. Well, Chelsea's previous acquaintance with the trophy 45 years ago, when they were champions. The FA Charity Shield, the event sponsored by 1-to-1 today. Incidentally, the serious stuff between these two for Premiership points takes place at Old Trafford on September the 23rd and at Stamford Bridge in mid-February. But today, it's a walk that Dennis Wise knows so well as a winning Chelsea captain here. And the South has beaten North, Blue has beaten Red, and the FA Cup winners have defeated the champions for the Charity Shield. Men of great substance and success in the Chelsea lineup as well. Are they going to be good enough for the pursuit of the Holy Grail? Would they be able to return in a year's time to wherever the Charity Shield is going to be held then as champions themselves? It will be fascinating finding out. All of us looking forward immensely to the Premiership season. The curtain raiser for it today has belonged to Chelsea. They've beaten Manchester United by 2-0.
Yes, we're going to have a whale of a time again during the coming Premiership season. Chelsea with the Charity Shield, the first trophy of the new football season, and very pleased about it they are too. As the football, more to come from Wembley yet, and looking further ahead, next weekend, Prince Naseem Hamed is back to defend his world title against the knockout specialist Augie Sanchez. 4 other title fights on the bill, including 3 from London, plus Britain's top female boxer, Jane Couch. It's a huge night, both from England and America. The show starts next Saturday night from 10 o'clock. It's live only on Sky Box Office. For more information, call 08705 800 888, 08705 800 888. So 1-0 to Chelsea here, 2-0 to Chelsea here at Wembley Stadium. We'll get the reaction, the thoughts from Graham Souness when we come back, and a word on some controversy from earlier in the day. That's next from Wembley Stadium. Wembley Stadium, blue is the colour. A goal for Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink here, his third in his last 4 games against Manchester United. The Charity Shield is Chelsea's. Mario Melchior with the goal of the second half, which made it 2-0. Just 1 attempt on target for Manchester United all afternoon. Extraordinary, that, really. Roy Keane sent off for the 7th time with Manchester United. Paul Scholes booked. As Andy was saying in commentary, a much more significant result for Chelsea than it might have been for Manchester United. 65, just over 65,000 in. Well, Graham's here. Andy's come round from the commentary box. Graham, a word first. What have we seen here? The win for Chelsea.
It's I think what Andy and Martin said in the box earlier. It's a bigger result for Chelsea than it is for United. You know, we can go back to the start of last season. Man United get a wall at 5-0 at Stamford Bridge, and they still go and win the championship. We know that Chelsea are big game players. We know that Chelsea, when they come to Wembley, will perform. It's what we said at the start of the programme. Can Chelsea go to the lesser lights in this league and turn out results on a wet, windy night in November or February? That's a question mark against Chelsea. Today they've not answered any of those question marks. I think they've just reconfirmed that they've got very, very good players. That on their day they're a match for anybody. But in a league campaign, you have to be up for it every single time you go across the white line.
Were you surprised, Andy, that Manchester United didn't perform, or that appeared to be so far off the pace?
Not really, Richard. I mean, as I said there in commentary, and I think Graham would agree, I don't think Manchester United's success or lack of it this season is going to be influenced in any way with what went on out there this afternoon. I don't think it's going to matter to them when they wake up on Monday morning and are preparing for Newcastle next Sunday what's going on in the Charity Shield. They'll be disappointed because these are players who like to win. And when you have won things and continue to win, even if it's a Charity Shield, you want to come to Wembley and you want to win at Wembley. You don't want to end up losing here. So they'll be a little disappointed. But I think Graham's also right when he says, for Chelsea, I think if they had lost and lost badly, then I think the beginning of the campaign may have suffered. But I think that's a huge shot in the arm for them, that result today. It will have given them confidence. They're going away from here with another medal, and they'll be ready to go next Saturday, of that I'm sure.
Can Roy Keane have any complaints about being sent off?
He can. He got himself upset because of Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink's tackle just earlier. And then there's no excuse for that. You know, maybe I'm not the best person you should be asking this question, but he's got...
No, you're the perfect person to be
he's got no
excuse
for that. I mean, the referee's 3-4 yards away. He's going to get caught. He's going to get sent off. I think he is the best midfield player around. I think he's a fantastic player, a great player. But for him to go on and be even greater than yesterday, he's got to eliminate that from his game because the team suffers.
Reaching the heights that you feel that he can, the fact that he can lose it.
He's going to be remembered
so
for
quickly
that,
like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think he is at those heights, isn't he? Surely he's performing.
There's nobody better than him. There's no one better than him. But
in order to maintain that, he's got to do it out there, hasn't he?
Yeah,
the team suffered today.
The team suffered. I think had it been another day, I think we might not have seen why do that. What he's done, he's damaged Manchester United initially at the beginning of the season. They're without Nicky Butt, I think, for 3 games. They're now going to lose Roy for possibly another 3 games with a straight red. Now that might damage or harm Manchester United at the beginning of the season, but again, it's a bit like saying to him when he played, you'll have to stop kicking people, Graham, because you're going to get yourself. There are some things in people's
there's aggression.
There's aggression. That's what made Roy. That is stupidity, and he does understand that. But
so then he can eliminate that.
Well, I think he has done. I think a majority of it. I think the Roy Keane we're seeing playing now is a vastly different Roy Keane to the one we saw maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I think he has controlled it far better than a lot of people thought he could do.
He got upset. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink tackled him. He didn't go to hurt him, but he's caught him and he's twisted his ankle, Roy Keane. And that's in his head because he was extremely angry. If you look at him after that incident, the type of player he thinks that shouldn't happen to him. He thinks I should only be giving it out, I shouldn't be receiving it. But
if you give it out, you've got to take it too, haven't you?
If it's a man's game, yeah. And he was upset by
Are you
that.
surprised that they left him on from the point that you could see, and most of us could, that actually he appeared to have lost it after that challenge?
The only
from
thing I
Hasselbaink?
would say is that Alec knows him better than either Graham or I do. And I think if Sir Alex is leaving him on, then he's obviously felt confident that Roy would calm down and get back on with the job in hand. It didn't work for him. The worst thing that happened to Roy there, I think, is that the tackle came too early after that incident. Had 5 minutes gone before Roy Keane got involved in another tackle.
It wasn't even a tackle.
I think he might have settled.
It wasn't even a
he might have
tackle.
settled, Graham. I think he might have forgotten about it. But it came almost within a minute of that incident where he was really fired up and he was having a little go at Hasselbaink for the tackle. And I think had there been 3 or 4 minutes gone in the game, 5 minutes, before he was asked to get involved again, I think he might just have forgotten about it. I think it came too quickly for him and just reacted. I thought it was instinct more than anything. It was just there. He just thought,
It wasn't even a tackle, was it?
no, it wasn't.
10 minutes after that, Chelsea made it 2-0. United may feel aggrieved when they see this. It's come from a move into the Chelsea half.
Well, you know, you talk about your players, get back in the position and things break down. And is it Andy Cole or
He's
Andrew?
not offside, is he?
Or Andrew Cole.
Andy Cole.
Andy Cole, and he gives the ball back to him. I know it's only a charity shield, but look, he can take. I think LaBeouf takes it quickly. If he's back standing his position, he can't pass it out to his fullback. You know, we talk about polite play, and that's cost him the second goal. It's a good build-up. It's good football. He impressed all day, didn't he, the right back?
I thought defensively he's up against Giggs.
He
He's done
kept
well,
him quiet,
and
yeah.
then he's gone
Kept
off.
him quiet. Comes in on his swinger and
Does it hit his standing foot? I wonder
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I posed that at the time. Does he just clip
it goes through Stan's legs, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's one of them. He's half scuffed it, hasn't he? It still counts.
He'll be pleased with it. He'll remember that. What do we make of Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink?
I like him.
I do.
I
tell you, Richard.
He's a threat. He's got power. He's got power. He's got. He's brave. He strikes a wonderful ball, and he wants to run forward into the areas that strikers should do.
I heard Colin Hutchinson talking on the radio this morning saying that they're delighted with the 15 million they spent. They bought early because they felt that the way prices have gone in the summer, they might be paying more for him now, have they not? Do you agree?
Well, I thought without a shadow of a doubt what's happened on the continent is only sent the whole job crazy now. But at 15 million, I think he'll get lots of goals next year for Chelsea.
I think he showed us today
the
everything
difference
that he's got. And I'll tell you what else he's got as well. He's got an arrogance in his own belief of what he can do up there as well. I mean, it's there about his whole play. He wants the ball all the time. He's always moving. He works very, very hard for the team. He's always making good runs down the side of defenders. He's always testing a defender. He's strong. I mean, everything
we saw him.
like that.
Richard and I saw him from up here in the first half, where Chelsea had an attack and it broke down, and there was a few defenders out of position, and he ran 70 yards from the edge of his box, so the attacking box, back to his box, because some defenders have been pulled out of position. And if he continues with that, then 15 million's cheap for him.
Here's the winning manager with Claire Tomlinson.
Gianluca, a good competitive game and the first trophy of the season in the cabinet.
Yes, only 4 to go, I would say. No, I think it was important for us to start in the best possible way. As you said, it was a real match. Manchester United tried its best to make it difficult for us, but I think we performed in a very convincing way, and all the players were up for it. Obviously, we're not at our best yet. We hope we can be at our best next Sunday when the Premiership starts, but we can be happy with ourselves because we played well and we showed that, you know, doesn't matter what kind of game is gonna happen, we'll be up for it big time.